back. I know I take forever to ever post videos on here. It's been a minute. But if you've been following my journey or watched any of my other videos, you know I went from being a CNA to a CMA, so a nursing assistant to a medical assistant. Unfortunately, my CNA certification is expired, so I no longer work as a CNA or can unless I get it renewed, and I don't know if I want to because I enjoy being a medical assistant so much. So I don't know if I would ever go back to being a nursing assistant. But anyways, this video is pretty much explaining like a different type of position a medical assistant can work in, like an administrative assistant, which is pretty much my job and what I do every day. So I'm just gonna get into the video and tell you about the different types of things that I do and what my position requires. Okay, so, sorry, I hit the table. My position is called a flow manager, and I work for a company in my state that is a well-known company in the state. It has a lot of offices everywhere, and it has a lot of offices everywhere in the state. So I am a flow manager. We have 3 in our office now, and I started doing it when I first started the office after my externship. I was pretty much doing it by myself, kind of, and we finally moved one of our LPNs into a flow manager position as well, and we hired a new girl who's also the flow manager. So I come in and I work 7:30 to 4:30. The LPN works 8 to 5, and the third flow girl, she works 9 to 7, or 9 to 6. And it's stacked like that, so we have coverage all throughout the day. So when I leave at 4:30, there's still someone here till 5 until 6. And our office closes at 7. So typically, other offices will typically be like 9 to 5 or 8 to 5. I work in an office that's open 7 to 7, Monday through, well, not even Monday, Sunday through Saturday, so every day of the week. And pretty much, flow manager is typically like an administrative assistant at the office. So we do everything from like faxes to phone calls to scheduling and a lot of other things. And this is what this video is for, is to explain what we do. So I'll start off by talking about our message box. We have what is called a flow box in my office, and it typically has everything in there from refills to messages to results, anything that we need to correspond with the patient and the provider. We have like, let me count really quick. Like 8 providers within the office, something like that. So it's a rather large office I am in, and there's a lot of messages constantly coming in. So what I do, like, and we have a message box, and that's typically where like all the patients that are calling our office, our phone calls get routed to our call center, and the call center will take a message and put it in our message box. So we can range from like, 15 messages to like 30 a day. And it's also where the doctors put in messages for us to tell the patient as well. So it can be up there. It can be a lot at once and overwhelming at sometimes, but I still love it. So in our flow box, it'll be like patients calling in to either get an appointment scheduled, if they have any questions for the doctors that we would ask the doctors. We can forward the message to the doctor, and they'll respond, and that's when we'll call the patient and tell them what the provider said. There's also like other practices calling in, like other specialties like physical therapy and surgery. They're calling in to get like either a verbal order for something or like a surgery clearance for someone, anything like that. If any other office if we have the same patient, if we have like a mutual patient with a different practice or specialty, they'll call us if they need anything, like any office notes or any vital signs or anything that they would need. We get the message and we forward it to the provider, and the provider forwards back what we need to tell them or what we need to send them. and they can either send it to the flow box where all the messages are, or to our personal boxes that we check, and we can just go from there. So things like verbal orders would be like a physical therapy calling, hey, I need a verbal order on this patient to do physical therapy for like 2 weeks, 3 times a day, whatever, things like that. And we'll forward to the provider, and they say, is this okay? And they'll be like, yeah. So we'll call back the physical therapy, be like, this is a verbal order for so-and-so to get physical therapy. So stuff like that. A lot of times, a lot of the messages are patients calling in trying to get worked into an appointment because the provider is booked and there's nothing for them to schedule. We have access to overbooked patients that the call center does not. So if you call and you get to our call center, they'll see if there's an appointment available. They can only see what's available, but we can see pretty much all the open slots that we have on our side, and we can work them into an appointment if the provider says so. Also, we also have in our box is like patient lab results. So whenever a patient gets their labs done, the provider usually sends it to the flow box to call the patient and tell them their results. Now, if it's things like, serious results like cancer or HIV, things like that, we wouldn't call the patient and tell them. The provider usually would do that, because patients will ask a lot of questions, and we're only medical assistants. So I'm a medical assistant, so I can't answer that or give like advice because I'm not a doctor. So yeah. And then refills, there are some refills that come through our boxes. Like, we can go ahead and electronically send it over to their pharmacy if they have been seen within like the year, or there's like different protocols on how we can refill medications if the patient has been seen recently or not. So yeah, so that's pretty much like the message box. And then we have like faxes. So we have these boxes up front where there's faxes that come in from other providers or patients or wherever the faxes come from, pharmacies. And what I would do is I would get up, our front desk, our medical records woman, she'll put a message in our flow box to say, hey, there's a fax up front for so-and-so. So that's when one of us will get up and we'll go get there's a red folder they put it in, because you can't have patient information out all willy-nilly. So there's a folder they'll leave up front, and the providers each have different boxes, and we'll grab the folders from the boxes and we'll bring it back and we'll fill out whatever we can fill out, and then we'll give it to the provider to sign, and then we'll fax it back to the number that's we're supposed to fax it to. So there's things like that, and there's also refills that come in from the pharmacy. Not all pharmacies will send electronic refill requests. They will send like paper refill requests, and we have to get the provider to sign it, and then we'll fax it back to the pharmacy. Other things that we get a lot are surgical clearance. Like, if you are going to have a surgery and you need to get a clearance from your primary care provider, they'll send that in to us, and we'll get the provider to look over it. We'll get you in for like a surgical clearance appointment. Excuse me, I don't have COVID, LOL. So we'll get the surgery clearance filled out and sent back to the surgical office so the patient can get their surgery. I'm so sorry, y'all. If I'm talking too fast, I'm sorry. I'm a naturally fast talker like this. My throat is dry as well. Okay. Other things that we typically fax and give to providers are FMLA, which are Family Medical Leave of Absence. So if anyone's taking like a leave of absence from work, they would need to get it signed by their primary care provider. So we get that. We get the provider to fill it out and sign it, and we fax it back to whoever it needs to go to. Other things like just other documents that need the provider to sign off on, we give it to the provider, they sign that, and we send it back. And then another thing we do is the phone, my worst part of the day. I literally hate answering the phone, but I do it because it's my job and I love it. Kind of. But yeah. No, I love it. Like, phone calls can be overwhelming because you can be in the middle of doing something and then someone's calling you to answer the phone and see what they need and help them as well. So we typically get phone calls from like radiology telling us about a patient's results, and usually we have to go find a provider, or either we can take a message down and tell the provider or send a message to the provider, things like that. we get patients calling in trying to schedule an appointment, and that's when we have to reroute them to our call center, because they'll call and hit like an option that sends it to our line, and this line is typically for doctors only and like radiology, things like that. Pretty much all our incoming calls are usually like other offices or pharmacies trying to reach one of the flow managers and ask a question about a patient. And if we need to, we can transfer the call to people in the office if they're looking for that specific person. I think that's all about it. So it's pretty much like administrative duties, like, you know, you're answering messages, you're scheduling patients, you're putting in orders, you're giving verbal orders, you're doing refills, faxing office notes between offices, you know, faxing documents that need to be faxed, and answering the phone and helping people however you can. I need to get some water because my throat is dry. But yeah, so that's another position a medical assistant can do. We have your clinical, then we have your administrative. I am, like, when we're clinical in my office, or when we're administrative in my office, we are kind of afloat. So we can do clinical duties as well. If someone needs help or someone calls out, we can also work as clinical and room patients and get their vital signs and bring them back and do all that stuff. So pretty much clinical is, you know, is self-explanatory. You will be rooming patients, you bring them back, you get their vitals, you update their medicines, you update their chart, and you get them ready to see the provider. And I kind of do both. You know, I'm always helping my coworkers if they need help. So take a break from doing my administrative duties and I'll get up and help on the floor as well. If you guys have any other questions or anything, please leave a comment, subscribe, like, and share. If you have been following my journey and following my channel, thank you so much. Like, you guys are the best. I still have people commenting on videos and asking questions and telling me congratulations. And you guys have no idea how much it means to me. I don't have that many subscribers on here at all, so the views really do mean a lot. You know, comments mean a lot. If you want more videos, like, like I said, if you've been following me, you've seen like how I looked before. I have also started a dread journey. As you can see, this is about a year in. Just about a year in. If you want a video of my dread journey, please comment below and I might post one. Who knows? I started off with 2-strand twist, and yeah, they have grown nicely. I had cut my hair before I got these done. My friend's mom started them for me. She does the upkeep of it. And they are they have grown so much. Like, my hair was not this long. I was always wearing wigs, and they've grown so much. I love it. Like, I love just waking up every day and not having to do my hair. So yeah, this is how they look now. Little dread journey in this video right here. If you guys want to see more about my hair or anything else, like I said, subscribe, comment, and anything, you know, would help. Me and Dee are slowly getting back to making videos. I know we haven't posted in like 2 years. We just made a cooking video that will be up here on this channel soon, so please keep an eye out for that. It's our first cooking video, so it's a little bit trash, but we will start making more cooking videos, and it'll get better. Hopefully my editing will get better because I can't edit for nothing. I use my phone. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, please share and comment and subscribe. It will mean so much. Maybe once we get enough subscribers, we can start doing giveaways. So if you want to get some free stuff, y'all better subscribe and comment and share. Thank you guys again, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.